His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country, so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demolition of the CDC headquarters in Connaught Town, which was carried out through a court order. How does the administration ensure that such enforcement action are done fairly and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. It's the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. If that demolition is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law.
Why will George Weah, who is tempted by Joseph Boakai, who was drowning in his Egypt land, who was dead, very red up, dirty, stink, you could find him passing around, particularly dead and useless. Why will such a man conduct make you wear vex that you will struck the work and then lose God's own mission to take you to the promised land? That was the test of time today for George Weah. If George Weah had reacted, you are falling in the place of Moses.
The Liberian National Police commends the Congress for Democratic Change for the discipline, calm, and statesmanship demonstrated during the recent eviction process. Their respect for the rule of law, despite the deep sentimental value and history attached to the property, reflects a maturity that strengthens Liberia's democracy. This movement is not only a testament to CDC's leadership, but also a reminder to all political institutions and citizens that our democracy grows stronger when lawful decisions are honored peacefully.
Why will George Weah, who is tempted by Today, you have a rebel police director who thinks that he has arrived. And the worst thing about all these people, they all benefited from the magnanimity of George Weah, ranging from people on the bench of the Supreme Court. They got letters from George Weah. If some of them choose to pay him back with evil, it's up to them. The very Gregory Coma today, he worked in the previous administration when Weah came. He also got another letter again. If he chooses to do what he's doing, it's up to him. But one thing I can tell you for sure is this is how we had always been molded. That's how God has already molded Weah and catapult him into success. He will suffer rejection, denigration, humiliation. That has been his life. How can you make somebody who has been down the line their shame? The person has gone through shame. They have gone through disgrace. They have done everything they cared. Whatever people thought and were laughing at them, they surmount everything and catapult themselves into becoming someone who is towering that the whole world can look at today. What more can you do? You think you're bringing that person down? You're just hurting yourself. In fact, what you are doing, you are destroying yourself. You know what it takes for you to proud in yourself of being bad? When people are looking for good image, you are happy in becoming a bad person. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. A bad person, George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
You see that? You see that? Yeah, shooting. You see that? You see that? You see what they do? You see what they do? You see what they do? not shoot. You see that? You see that, group? You see that, you see that? You see that? You cannot shoot. You see that? You see what the State Security are doing? They're shooting up. They've got the flag. Oh, man,
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong, and no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
as God Almighty, the God who gives life, the God who maintains and sustains life, the God who blesses the leader, and the God who curses the rulers, the God who gives the despot, the tyrant, the dictator time to repent of those satanic characteristics. Anything short of that, he exacts justice as he did with Nebuchadnezzar. Yet we are grateful to that God who hover us throughout the night and has brought us into this day again, a country of ours, not the country of Unity Party, not the country of Joseph Yeman Boakai, but the Republic of Liberia. No political dynasty, no family dynasty. This is the Republic of Liberia, in which everyone has a say, everyone entitled to existence, everyone has got just everything existential in every aspect in this country. Everybody in this country equal. Everybody. You and Joseph Boakai equal. I am Joseph Boakai equal. The Yanam boy and Joseph Boakai equal. The Yanam girl trading her wheelbarrow and Joseph Boakai equal. Boakai is not ahead of you. I am not ahead of Boakai. We are all on the same plane, but there is the difference. That means somebody has to be in an office. You and the pastor equal. You and the pastor equal. The pastor is not ahead of you. The only reason the pastor stands before you so that you see him proclaim, but all of you are equal. We are all equal, and we are equal by our distinction in different areas to make society better. This is Real Talk, Kings 88.5. So we are grateful to that God. It's another day. Every day we are enthusiastic, we are spirited, we are motivated. Why? On the other side, they are dispirited, they are demotivated, they are down. Yeah, we are motivated. Not only that, but we remain upbeat. Why? On the other side, they are drowning, they are vexed, they are angry. They nurse the anger every minute, every second. They come up with all kinds of shenanigans. They're just terrible in themselves. You know, the people I'm talking about, the turning Upist. Turning Upist. Well, they're men. And the past, the men used to refer to seditions as turning seditions, Heron Costa. So we have taken it because he's on the side now. So he used to call seditions turning seditions. So we use his expression, turning Upist. Turning Upist. You refer to them as turning Upist. That's democracy. That's intellectualism. Yes. Thank you all for coming on again. We appreciate all of you great people. The box, you know, the basket is available. The box is still open. You are taking care of it. Please, you know, you're familiar now with the code 0555885 0555885. That's the send wave 0555885. And then the local mobile money number 07770178885 07770178885. That's it. And then today is Tuesday. Yeah, it's 5,000. Our partners, Radio Entertainment Liberia, is giving you 5,000 Liberian dollars through us. You want to take it, it is unto you to take. It is not unto you to reject, but it is unto you to receive. Anything short of that, well, don't say that life is hard. Don't
go on praying for 3 hours, 4 hours. Don't allow anybody or fall onto anybody's feet to prophesy in your life. Just blame yourself. There is everything available, 5,000 to take. All you need to do is deposit 50 Liberian dollars or 50 cents US, and then you insert the code *79 and *24 hash. That's all you need to do, and then you have your 5,000. 5,000 is substantial, good amount that can carry you between today and tomorrow. Tomorrow another 5,000. You add up, so that will be 10,000. So you see the opportunities, window of opportunities. Thank you all. Let's bring on a few of you that have come on. The names are so very long. Your presence has overwhelmed the place. Tobasi, Flexible General, Clay District, Bombing County, Lepei Jerry, Kakata City, Jonathan Ballard, USA, Man Richardson, Beverly Hills, Hotel Africa, Divine Woolen, Drivers Market, Bill Duo, Ministry of National Defense. Okay, you're following from the Ministry of National Defense. Good that we are in the Ministry of National Defense. Stephen Fowler, Evalikora, Banjo, the Gambia, Spencer Mohammed, Cosmo Hill, Wayne Town, Yankee Johnson, Yassa Sharif, Amanda Dober, Ambassador Walter Morgan, CDC regular intellectual militant, Samuel Allison, Maryland, Harport City, Hoffman Station, Webo Town, Otto Junior, Wookie Davids, Joseph Murphy, 72nd, your residents, Juju Wongwe, Claudia Allison, Delaware, USA, Matilda Stevens, yes, from Iowa, USA, Boacat Zodua, Mecklin Street, Waterside, Princess Elpidets, Ganta City, good, Nathan Page, D, what is that? 45, 545. Oh, you are the way you are, 545. Bappin Paul Lee, Johnsonville, Stephen Yakati, Lower Magibi County, Stanley Sharif, Brove City, Jeremiah Labla, Gaza Clinic, Gaza Community, Opahama, Magibi County, Lower Magibi, Kelvin Bappin, 5th Kelvin Bappin, Nimba United, Royal Always Va, District 3, Emmanuel Bro, Minnesota, Mansari Abdullahi, JJY, Philip Nangbe, that's Tokba, Dallas, Texas, Jared Nan, Fendel, Caulfield, Mamata's son, Buchanan City, Grand Bassa County, Asari Conan, where St. Paul Bridge, Paris Lobot, New Jersey, USA, Agnes Kier, Badnersville, the Palace of the Regime Speaker, Ruth Bordeaux Bine, Arizona, Phoenix, USA, Cogba Wida, Magibi County, Jeff Comonte, National Headquarters. Yes. All right. James Doka, Badnersville. All right. And the names running down. Time is of the essence. Yes. Great people. Rita Christine Hitz, Massachusetts, USA. Benita Ondebi, Johnsonville, Sasto. My dear sister, Orita Sonny Choir. Welcome all of you good people. Hope that you are faring well. And we appreciate you coming on. We are always inspired by your presence. So let's get to, the chairman has just walked in. The chairman himself, the one and only chairman, the reference point chairman, the common citizen chairman, Roman Rico, Kenneth Ball, or Latupan Forshot, the chairman of district, that's Block 13 Intellectual Center, District 13. Welcome, Mr. Chairman. Let's get out of Liberia briefly. The United States Department of Homeland Security has added 19 additional Nigerians to its deportation list, bringing the total number slated for removal to 113. The department listed the deportees as the worst of the worst criminal aliens arrested. Those newly added were convicted of offenses including sexual assault of a minor, fraud, assault, drug trafficking, and money laundering. That's according to data published by the U.S. immigration authorities. They were arrested by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and will be deported once immigration procedures are completed. This comes amid a continued crackdown on criminal and undocumented migrants in the United States. Police in the northwestern Uganda have arrested 2 women in their 20s after neighbors reported seeing them kissing in public. The pair has been detained since February 18 without legal representation under Uganda's 2023 Anti-Homosexuality Act, a law which, with penalties ranging from life imprisonment to death penalty for aggravated homosexuality. According to police, neighbors accused the women of practicing homosexuality and even took photos as evidence, also alleging that several women were seen visiting their residence. A search of their residence found no evidence. However, authorities say investigations are ongoing. Rights advocates have condemned the arrest, warning that the law is fueling blackmail, extortion, and deepening fear within the LGBTQ community. Tanzania human rights defender Mshabaha Hamza, known for criticizing Tanzania's violent election period crackdown, was abducted in Kenya on Saturday, but rescued before being taken to the border. According to Amnesty International, Hamza was drugged, injured, and dumped in Lukaya, where police swiftly intervened and intercepted the suspect's vehicle. 3 men, 2 Kenyans, and 1 Tanzanian were arrested, with Amnesty International describing the incident as a violent, premeditated abduction and attempted redemption in Tanzania. Hamza has lived in exile in Kenya for years while documenting human rights abuses, work that rights groups say has made him a target. Amnesty International warns this case fits into a growing pattern of transactional repression across East Africa, and hundreds of supporters of Ugandan opposition leader Dr. Kizza Besigye gathered inside Lubaga Cathedral in the capital Kampala to pray for his release after more than a year in detention without trial on treason charges. The service went ahead despite the Archbishop postponing the official mass, following what the wife of Dr. Kizza Besigye says was a request from President Yoweri Museveni to delay the event pending an investigation into whether it was political. Supporters pray anyway, insisting that Dr. Kizza Besigye, who has appeared in court in a wheelchair is said to be in a declining health, deserves compassion and fair trial. Those were some of the events unfolding out of Liberia. When you are in power and you are a dictator, not only do you radicalize the atmosphere, militarize, use all of your political machinery, but it moves on to stifling, bringing up, trump up charges against the opposition so that it strengthens the ruling establishment grip on power, and that the opposition will have nothing to deal with but fear. So the atmosphere now becomes a dictatorial one. That's what you see in most African countries. Again, as I said, over the weeks and months, the opposition in Liberia should not overlook or take cue from some of these incidences unfolding in these dictatorial African countries. Yesterday, we heard the Congress for Democratic Change Secretary General Jefferson Koji revealing of a document that he intercepted with a conversation that plans were underway by the executive to incriminate the current leading opposition figure in Liberia by bringing several charges against him. The intent is that he will be battling those charges or allegations in court, and time will be against him, and he will not have sufficient nor enough time to do anything in preparation for 2029. Why we may not accept that as absolute true, but it is a private information. Moreover, we can draw on some of the things that have been said by the current, some of the officials of the current regime. Staying in power for 200 years, the leading opposition figure would never ever come back to power in this country, even though no one can determine the fate of another person, because you would think that this person can never, and then it happens. We have testimonies of several African countries, but we understand that from a political standpoint to mean that the Machiavellian theory will be introduced. The Machiavellian theory states that the one, let me explain it this way in a more simplified and short version. The one who has the power determines how everything goes. He can decide to trample on, he can decide to lessen, he can determine the pace of the atmosphere, he determines who speaks at what pace or at what place. Everything generally falls within that person who has the power. So the person using his might can trample on the people at will. The opposition here got to be not careful, but take cue from these things. I know that the opposition, there is a crack in the opposition. There is no disconnect, and I don't see an opposition connection, opposition unity going into 2029. One of the reasons is this: most of the opposition political parties and individual personnel are not financially viable. One, Two, they do not have that integrity to stand on their own. Three, they will take advantage of ethnicity. They will take advantage of link, of religious affiliation, just all of those factors. Already we have seen some people defected on tribal ground, on ethnic ground. Now, the fourth reason that I am convinced, except I see that there is a crack right now and it's not going to be anything strong of a political synergy, no government, no ruling establishment feels comfortable with against or having, allowing for existence a coalition, opposition merger, opposition collaboration, because it is a force that can unseat any government. So no government will do that. They will ensure that the chunk market range in that group to scatter it. They would not only chunk the money, but they will politicize the group. How they do that? They call people on the side and then explain history, talk about connection, talk about how this person was this person was that. Just how Ellen Johnson Sirleaf would say when she was in the presidency, when she wants to take action, people will come to her and say, oh, Madam President, you know, you're related to this person. You know that your cousin, your first cousin is this person, this, just like that. You'll find those things happening. The sign that you will see that we know about, as we saw in the past, somebody will wake up some morning, call a news conference and say they are leaving the coalition or the merger or the association or the collaboration because of XYZ. But their reason or reasons would not be germane enough. They will just use that as an exit strategy. What we have going into 2029, I can tell anybody, the opposition, and when I say opposition, I mean the Congress for Democratic Change, will have to develop a sustained, workable strategy. And that strategy will have to have in it not a total reliance on other parties. Don't trust anyone in a political game. The government of Unity Party or Unity Party government has the advantage. They have set aside, and they stay setting aside, good money. Take it or leave it. What did Unity Party say of CDC? That even though it was just an imagination, they were just saying it loose political talk, that you 100 million and then you lost election. That saying also goes this way. If you can set aside 100 million, you lost the election, we will set aside 200 to 300. And we will weaponize everybody. Anything we can do to stay on to power, we will do. Bulk of that money will be used on the political weaklings, individual and institution. The Congress for Democratic Change is the leading, viable, aggressive, weighty, grounded opposition political party that commands a ratio, a population ratio of 80 to 85% of the people of this country. A workable strategy will be needed, not relying entirely on any of these opposition. I'm not dismissing any opposition synergy or opposition collaboration. I am only forecasting the future, giving my knowledge of the political culture of this country. We've seen it. If CDC will rely entirely on collaboration, on merger, on association, well, it might work. But they have to be very, very careful. Because when you think everything is done, one morning you just hear this one having a news conference, or you just hear this one speaking into a radio station that they have withdrawn from that collaboration because of this, because of that. These are things that we've seen. That's why this country from 1847 has never had a viable political culture, a standard political culture, a competitive political culture between the opposition and the government. The opposition had always been that weak. It was the Congress for Democratic Change that came in and raised the bar of opposition politics. Go back into CDC opposition life and see. Prior to CDC coming to power, it was just, the party that get the money and go there. And what was the party then? Nothing. This country was just loose. It was CDC that really came, that people started getting involved with politics. How many people in this country had time for politics? They had no time. Even when Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was coming in 2005, it was just looking like a strange thing to people. They've known this group of people that plunged this country into decadence for years, called progressives. It was when Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was coming, many people were not really exposed to politicking. She tried, she raised, let's give her that credit, honestly. She introduced. And then what happened? CDC in the opposition, and hence they increased the bar of opposition politicking. CDC exposed many people. They brought many people to the limelight of politics. You can deny that. You know, Sir Joseph, prior to George Weah coming in politics, did you know Thomas Fowler prior to George Weah and CDC coming onto the scene in politics? Did you know all of those people today that you know? You did not know them. They weren't even involved in anything all by themselves called politics. They saw, if they ever heard about politics, they saw it as dangerous, damaging to their future. Everybody was green. Everybody was green. Take it or leave it. It was the coming in of George Weah and the Congress for Democratic Change that brought the political culture alive in this country with exposure. All of these people today, they existed. Some of them, they were existing when George Weah was 5 years old. Some of them were existing, meaning big enough, when George Weah was 10 years old. Some of them were existing, I'm saying big enough, they knew themselves, they were exposed when George Weah was 15, 20. But they weren't involved with politics, but they used to hear the word politics. They understood politics to have mean then something damaging to their future, wicked, bad. Today, you see the culture of ours. Yesterday, those who were selling coat suits, they will bring their coat suits in their stalls, on their market tables, whatever they were using, and it will stay there for months. Nobody had time for coat suit. When the political culture from the exposure of the Congress for Democratic Change started getting hot, from the latter part of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and the introduction of CDC coming to state power, coat suit was very expensive. You could hardly. The people whose goose coat suit was difficult to go was now hotcake on the market. Everybody was wearing coat suit to address a news conference. Everybody. If you didn't wear a coat suit, just let my own. If you didn't wear a coat suit, you didn't see yourself as being a political person. So everybody was buying coat suit. That's how coat suit became so. Not that it was not Insta, it was Insta. But people had no time for it. Now listen. Yeah, one of the ways you understand it. But people, that's something we saw. That's what we saw. Coat suit, it used to be all over. Nobody had time. But as soon as George Weah and CDC came, people start dressing, calling news conference here and there. See, the other person will go and buy a suit because he wants to look superb and classic. So, ladies and gentlemen of the press, the other people say it. Oh, they're going to buy. It came a time in this country, coat suit was very expensive. Not only the coat suit, just the jacket, let it warm me. Yeah, the suit means the same color, trust it. Just the jacket, it was expensive because people started buying now. Started buying. CDC exposed people into politics. Started buying. Moving here and there. All that time, nobody knew about purple suit. People moving to coat suit. When George Weah introduced a purple suit, it began coat suit, purple suit. And the purple suit took over the coat suit in no time. So, that's it. I've been thinking about that. But as we go further and forward, ideas will come. We'll advise the opposition expressly. But CDC authorities are aware. Some of these things that are happening in the other countries, you have to take cue. This government will leave at nothing to stay in power. They will leave at nothing to stay in power. Take it or leave it. The target is nobody but the opposition, Congress for Democratic Change. Even if it means they go this way, they will do it. That's why you don't overlook it. Remember, I said yesterday, quoting Sun Tzu, he said, if you know yourself and you don't know your enemy, for every victory you think that you are about to claim, you will lose it. If you know yourself and don't know your enemy, you are a likely candidate to miss out. Simply put, do not overlook anything from your enemy. And everything that you see happening now, everything that you see happening with and against the Congress for Democratic Change, quote unquote legal, is political. That's one of several signs you're going to see or you are seeing. The target is George Weah. Unity Party has a plan in place. That plan is to ensure that George Weah don't have the field day. Even though the Deputy Minister for Public Affairs, Daniel Sano, said today that the government has no plan to ban George Weah from contesting. And nobody can ban George Weah. Nobody. The only person who has that power to ban George Weah from contesting, only two persons, let me say, only two persons, let me repeat myself, I said this before, only two persons can ban George Weah from contesting, God and George Weah. George Weah can ban himself. God can ban George Weah, and God is not willing to ban George Weah because God has already sealed it. Beyond those two individuals, nobody, no woman, no man can ban George Weah from contesting. Let's say again, no man, no woman in this country, whatever you think you have or whatever the power or resource, whatever, you can ban George Weah, can stop George Weah from contesting. Nobody. No, go and drop that person on F yet to ban George Weah from contesting. This country had been peaceful. This country is known globally as a unique democratic culture. This is the only African country in the history of the world that have had two super unique historical transitions. This is the only African country that opposition weren't stifled. They participated in the elections. They were not opposition. People were not thrown into jail. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf did not jail opposition. Oh, she did. She sent Mulba Molu to jail. But the atmosphere was one that what happened in most of those countries that we talk about every day that we see, so much so that it led to several people losing their lives. We have not seen it in this country. And I don't think we're going to see it. You know why? Because the government of Sirleaf, let's take it that way, she kept the atmosphere democratic. Then came former President George Weah, kept the atmosphere more than democratic, to the extent with an infinitesimal number or a very tiny number conceded and congratulated the opposition leader. They didn't stifle the opposition. They didn't take opposition members, Unity Party opposition members, and put them in jail. There was not a single political prisoner, but there were reasons. There were reasons, multiple reasons, convincing reasons enough to take some of these people into jail. But the president then opted not to have any political prisoner in jail. Let it be a normal political contestation. And in one of President Weah's addresses, I've been trying to get that clip. I will get it. When he came from the United Nations, I think it was either his last or second to the last public address he gave. There was this report. The opposition, Unity Party in opposition, they had this campaign and they sustained it that the elections were not going to be free and fair. They had the people having news conferences. They would give some money to surrogate groups to have conference to say George Weah intending to rig the election, that the election will not be free and fair. Some of them will go and call BBC. They will create an atmosphere. BBC will call them, VOA will call them. They were using James Botte most often to say the elections will not be credible. President Weah is intending to rig the elections. I can remember one of the key persons in Unity Party today. He gave an interview to James Botte. If you ask James Botte, they still have that record. One of the key voices in that position in Unity Party government. Today, he gave a news conference to James Botte VOA that President Weah and his people have developed a plan to rig the election. They say all of those things, they sustain it everywhere. The former president, George Weah, was constrained to address that when he came from the United Nations. And he made it clear that the 2023 elections was going to be free, fair, transparent, and credible. Whoever wins the 2023 elections, in the words of the former president, it's the will of the people, and the will of the people must prevail. That if CDC wins as a government, CDC stays on. If Unity Party wins as an opposition, we surrender. I will get that clip. I've been hoping I stay checking. So you hear former President Weah for himself. He kept that unique political atmosphere. Hence, we need that going into 2029. Nobody will develop any Ugandan style or Cameroon style or Mali style or Tanzania style, stifling opposition, bending opposition. Our country is unique. It has been unique. We have a great corridor of unique democratic atmosphere. Hence, nobody should think that they're going to stifle the former president or ban the former president. Under no condition. We have always maintained. That's why the international community credited former President George Weah. They have always known African countries prior to the 2023 elections in this country. The international community witnessed, testified, got involved with several undemocratic tendencies of several African countries, pretty close to 100. It became the normal. So their understanding was, let's watch this country called Liberia. This is an African country. They came out of 14 years of brutal civil war. There are guns stay in that country. There are rebels in that country. There are people, undesirable characters still around. And this man, and George Weah, the president, let's see what's going to happen. The international community, the whole world had its attention fixed on Liberia to see whether Liberia was going to join the category of those other West African countries for a certain president to hold on to power. When President George Weah conceded, because they were following the tallying, and they knew, the world knew that with such a margin, any African president will hold on, because it was not a margin by conviction. Any African president like we see in other countries. So the people say, let's watch. With such a low margin, it's very likely George Weah will show undemocratic tendency. He will put in that dictatorial tendency to stay on. When they heard, saw, read that with a lower margin, he conceded, the entire international community took a breather or deep breath. They never believed it. Immediately, they got together and released this.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner.
Yes, it. Please listen. Please listen carefully. Former President George Weah had all of the options. Arguably, he had all of the options. Nobody can doubt that. And nobody could have stopped George Weah. Not even these people in power called Unity Party. The margin, very low, tiny margin was sufficient to stay on. It surprised the international community. Such a low, far less number. This African president will concede. They were constrained to insert it in their statement. Say, even though he had the options of a sitting president, meaning the man, yeah, listen.
While he arguably had options as a sitting president, while he arguably had options as a sitting president, while he arguably had options as a sitting president, while he arguably had options as a sitting president, while he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the
he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. It's not that President Weah couldn't hold on. What could have happened in this country? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But he just did not want to put our country, that have always had a unique democratic credential, into such category with the other African countries. This man, you think that he's ordinary. You think that he has no support again. You think that his popularity has dwindled. You think if you try to come out, it will be as easy. We ain't even talk about the men's international contact yet, because most part of the international community support George Weah. One of the reasons things not really happening with Unity Party is because how they are treating Weah. Let me tell you how the international community operates. Every country has their interest. Every country, they have their interest. When Ellen was in power, there were countries that were supporting Liberia. When Ellen came to power, giving whatever she was, and with them in an international cycle, they withdrew. They gave Liberia less attention. They withdrew. They folded up. When Weah came to power, there were countries making up the international community that favor Weah. So they were coming in. There were countries also that did not favor Weah, so they were not giving support. They will pay deaf attention. There are countries making up the international community not satisfied with Boakai. They still maintain their George Weah interest. Who told you when you're international community that all the countries will jump on you, come into your country? Who told you? No. Some countries refrain because their interest is not president again. So they turn to the other side that they have interest in. Look at the government. They spoke of investors prior to coming in, that investors were going to flow into the country like a river or water flowing down the river. What do you see? The government is struggling. The economy is going deep in the sea, deep down. The long said CDC economy was in the septic tent, but this one now, it gone deep sea. No way out. We come to the men's international support, international base, just in Liberia. So whoever tried thinking that thing, you have to rethink. Nobody in this country can ban George Weah from contesting. The last thing you ever want to do is to think that way. You either plunge this country into something else, or you maintain the peace and stability. Weah have never bothered anybody. There is no reason why anybody can stop George Weah from contesting. Nobody can stop George Weah. Nobody. It's good that the government Deputy spokesperson in Daniel Sano said, no, the things that are coming out, they're not true. We have no intention of banning George Weah. But like the beginning can say in Liberia, that motto. So we take it as motto, but we are still skeptical. But we maintain nobody, no man, no woman can ban George Weah. That person has not been born yet. Go and create that person yet. That will come and say they're banning George Weah from contesting the elections because a certain group of people want to stay in power for 2 years. Today, so you take cues, you follow these regional events that are unfolding. You follow these things in these African countries. We do not share borders with them, but the content, the ones that we share border with, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Ivory Coast, these things are not happening. And if they are not happening, it doesn't say that you can take cue. You just have to be on the guard. The countries that we far from by border, like Tanzania, like those other African countries, Uganda, where these things are happening, the opposition is being stifled. Look what they have done. The president, what they have done to opposition leader Dr. Kizza Besigye. And there is, I can credit, I've never seen an opposition leader consistent like that, fearless. This is not the only year. Dr. Kizza Besigye had been opposition for several years. Faced too many harassments, intimidations, imprisonment, trials, persecution. He never gave up. He never. The government beat him many times. Today, Dr. Kizza Besigye is in a wheelchair. They organize a mass or a service because he is a Catholic. That's how they call their service, mass. Still, the current president refuses to allow them. He passed through the Archbishop, and the Archbishop called for postponing of the mass, and the people said, no, we'll go and have the mass. Imagine the Archbishop, because the president said, oh, come on, that thing there is political and XYZ, you have to be careful. So the Archbishop withdrew. The Archbishop called for the postponing of it. Let me read that for you again. Hundreds of supporters of Ugandan opposition leader Dr. Kizza Besigye gathered inside Lubaga Cathedral in Kampala to pray for his release after more than a year in detention without trial on treason charges. The service went ahead. Please listen. The service went ahead despite the Archbishop postponing the official mass. The service went ahead despite the Archbishop postponing the official mass. Then what did Yoweri Museveni said? The service went ahead despite the Archbishop postponing the official mass, following what the wife of Dr. Kizza Besigye said was a request from President Yoweri Museveni to delay the event pending an investigation into whether it was political. Somebody said, then you say you have to investigate whether it's political. Health can be political. Then they call the Archbishop. The Archbishop say, okay, Mr. President, we're postponing. You see? Listen, I'm not being judgmental. Jesus Christ's anger was never about himself. Jesus, in his religious self, he never compromised. Every anger you see Jesus express was against injustice, was against wrongdoing, was against criminal act, was inflicting pains on people and every other thing, that it was against humanity. Today, people think that as religious leader, you should not get involved in politics. And then they will move and use that event in the second chapter of John. They say Jesus went in a temple, Jesus was vexed, so he beat the people. Jesus was vexed. Yes, he vented out an anger, but an anger against injustice. He vented out anger against corruption. Today, religious leaders in this country, they said no. At the close of the day, listen, I'm not indicting anybody religiously, please. I'm not being judgmental, just telling you what it is. All of us are Christians. I see. We know what it ought to be. You either speak out against, if you can, it's held against you. The Archbishop say, no, Mr. President, the people not having a mass. We'll tell them they're not having a mass. We're postponing it. So the mayor's wife said, no, we will go ahead with the service. Archbishop, we don't need you. You are not the one who heals. You are not the one that we recognize as the deity, God in heaven. We don't need to go into your cathedral. We only need to gather and call upon God, and he will answer our prayer. Religious leaders around the world are afraid of African governments. And when you see in our country, all of the religious leaders are muted, it's because of that. They trade friendship. They trade justice for friendship. They trade the rights of the people for fear that they will be attacked, for fear that they will be excluded from national events and every other thing. So nobody talks. If God in heaven were to just give experimental judgment, meaning in a space of 15, 20 minutes, you see everybody standing and seeing God judging, the number of religious leaders that will say, if I had known I was going to speak, if I had known, not going to be silent, there'll be too plenty. The opposition, have to be focused, determined, strong, aggressive, not relenting. It's difficult. Reaching the finish line is not an easy thing. No ruling establishment wants to get out easily. They will do any and everything to stay on to power, but the opposition can take them down. That will take me to Unity Party judge ruling against Cloud Foundation. The ruling against Cloud Foundation, not a surprise to me. No, I saw that coming. The very first day Judge Roosevelt Willie was appointed, I just knew in my spirit that he's there as surrogate judge. The very first day, listen now, President don't appoint simply because he or she has the appointing power. President appoints based on vested interest. Where they send people based on interest. You support the regime, you support the party in opposition, whether by words or silent. When the president is inaugurated president, he rewards, he pays President rewards by position. All of these people in the position they're in, they are supporters of the regime. I have never felt comfortable with George Roosevelt Willie. The only reason George Roosevelt Willie has not moved swiftly in the arson case, because the government can prove anything. So they shifted to Clark Weir. That let's stick on this. Since we can proceed further with the arson case, we can prove anything. Let's pause it and then turn to Clark Hope Foundation. Clark Hope Foundation is within the realm of George Weir. That's George Weir's wife, our prime target. So the ruling today to squash the subpoena was not a surprise to me. Joe Walker and his government have always had vested interest in it to take it from Clark Mary Weir. The judge will and is doing everything against Clark Hope Foundation at the desire of the executive. Arab is a political setup. Arab was set up by the patron, by the political patron, Joe Boakai, who Arab ought to please. Nobody but the president. What the president wants, Arab has to deliver. Millions of dollars was pumped into Arab. Even though there is corruption within there, too, but they're not looking at that. Arab has to deliver. An Arab position or the executive position, do everything you can to get what we want. This is the mission we have given you. The assignment, deliver on it. Unity Party will stop at nothing to take that place from Clark Weir. Once Unity Party and Arab have succeeded in taking that place from the former First Family, their work will come to an end. Watch it. This is the 24th day of February, I am telling you. If, and I know they're not going to be successful, but let's take it hypothetical. If they are successful, that will be the end of Arab mission. It will be mission accomplished, because Joe Boakai wants that place taken at all costs from those people. Arab is a political organization. The court, Judge Roosevelt Willie, is a surrogate judge, meaning it's working. The only reason you don't see anything extra in that arson case, because they could prove nothing. Today, when any leave hanging in the air, it's in oblivion. It's just there now. It's just they're going to be there for the longest. Probably when we're getting around 2027, 2028, then they will come back with something new again. But still, they will not be able to prove anything. But until then, there's nothing there. So it's hanging. One line you all heard about that arson case. It went before Judge Roosevelt Willie. He tried to help Unity Party some kind of way to indict those guys and send them to jail. No way. So they say, okay, let's pause on that one. Since we have that Clark Hope Foundation, let's stick there too. Hey, XYZ, come on, go to the place. Tell them to submit all of the documents. Clark Hope Foundation lawyers, seasoned lawyers in this country, lawyers who have saved this country from disaster using the same law. The political judge say that thing you're saying it makes sense. Arab that legal institution, the both get a right to request for document, you go submit all. They will use the law, or they are using the law, but it is pure. Everything is political. Everything is political. Everything is vindictive. By the time they have succeeded against the weirds, you're going to see Arab work is over. All of the things that are happening everywhere, even in the past, the other places, nothing. Do you know we maintain this thing? It is political. It is a witch hunt. Even the unborn child knows. We have seen recovery of property allegedly stolen around the world. The list is up. The number of properties, the names allegedly attached to those. That's public information. That's transparency. It is never hidden. When we raised this issue, and some people came, some of the very people that came out, some of their representatives and senators, they came out. That's how it ought to be. So the public will not have this understanding that you are witch hunting a certain family. You are witch hunting a certain person. Let the country know the names of people, the names of property that you are pursuing, that you suspect are government properties or were owned or was constructed by government's money. They think focusing only on Cloud Foundation, it will save the other people. And I can say, yeah, I will save them, because you know what? The number of people from the opposition, and they in Bouaka government. You think when they say they support Bouaka, you think they're just saying it because they love Bouaka? They were in opposition, they caused Bouaka. And even if something had happened to Bouaka in opposition, they were never going to regret it. All of the time they were in the CDC government, Bouaka was dying. They never carried a dime to Bouaka. They never even went to Wia and say, this mayor that our countrymen, we're from Lofa County, let's try to do something. They never did anything on their own from ethnicity perspective. They saw Bouaka struggling, nearing death. Today, they say they love Bouaka. It's because Bouaka is the president. 1, 2, they've acquired investments. They acquire investments in this country from the country money. So they feel that the best way to protect their investment is to go under the covering of Bouaka, high under the shadow of Bouaka wings. So IRS can turn to them, IRS can call them. But the time they succeed in getting that foundation, listen, you will never hear the existence of Arab again in this country. The vindictive plan is, let's chase her, get everything from her, and leave her. You should have the whole list. Let the country know. So people won't say that you are witch hunting. When the people say you witch hunting, then you say, yeah, it's not a witch hunt. How can it not be interpreted as witch hunt when you after one person? So that Clan Marie Wia took all the money in the country, bear all the thing, all the structure in this country that Clan Marie Wia alone. That what Arab is telling us? Oh, because of what I mean. You show Finabono property, you say, oh, the money, Finabono used government money. The two names. So, from the founding of this country to today, those people, the two people, they the one damage the country. That's what you are saying? Chief, you go up, you cannot, it is a witch hunt. It is a witch hunt. Where we can see the names of the other people. President Bouaka said there will be no business as usual. We know this, the expression as he knows it. No business as usual. It also has impartiality, that you will not be partial. If 50 persons is alleged to have taken something, you will not bring up one and lead a four. To bring up one and lead a four is business as usual. There are people in this government that know what they have done to this country. They know that when their name comes out, it's going to be too bad, shameful, and disgrace. So they come up with this shenanigan. George Weah makes the country, and President Weah leadership was too bad for this country. All kinds of nonsense, covering up. Now, when you say that the people see the president as a puppet, then some of you can get vexed. But that's what it is. That's what it is. As a leader, you don't allow yourself to be used by a certain group of people. You look at the man and say you were in George Weah government. You're not free from corruption. Everybody, the president came to power. He's on record. President Buhari is on record. He said everybody in the former government officials, rather. He said former government officials. He's on record. We get a record. We get a voice. But the former officials now, they looked at by the president's interpretation of former officials that George Weah, Claude Marie Weah, Fina Bono. That's the understanding it is they are giving us. Nobody against Arab function. Nobody, absolutely nobody is against Arab function. But let it be holistic. Don't give the public the impression that it is a political game. That you have hate, malice, grudge against George Weah, against Fina Bono, against George Weah's wife. That will be doing it for that. Lastly, let's talk. Questions to ask about yellow machines proving a point to opposition. Then we're out. So they have, we talk about that in over and over, but it's not going to go anywhere. It's another shamble. It's another shamble. Cloud Hope Foundation will not kowtow in their power. It will go nowhere. It's another long haul. You'll leave that thing, you'll realize. You don't panic over it. Questions to ask about yellow machines proving a point to the opposition. Now, if you listen to Teacher Light last night, he gave a broader, in-depth understanding of that whole thing. And guess what? They are running with that piece that Teacher Light provided. If you went on social media, you see it almost everywhere. We're going to be avalanche of reactions. So running through all of those things, I soon realized, oh, truly, this expression here, truth hurts. That's true. The reality. Say, oh, I see. Now I see, I understand the expression for truth. Truth hurts. It can really go into people's soul, marrow, boom, especially when they consciously know that they're not doing what is right. That's why you see, we'll be telling you, you don't got to curse anybody. You don't got to vent your anger at anybody. Just say the truth. The truth that causing itself. The truth. When you say the truth, it can help people. Power can go into their soul, their bone, their flesh, their marrow, their skin, their spirit. It can stir them up. So Teacher Light gave us a figure quoting Brandon Samokai, around 4 or 4.1 million for the maintenance of that. That's true. Now, that it's as simple to understand, except that you're not that critical person. But you want to look at your house and look at things outside. In your house, there's finance, maintenance, and every other thing, even your own self. So coming out of your house, you have before you, they say 285, let's take it that way, 285 machines. So assume that you are that one, you are the person that put that in your care. What are you going to do? You will just be excited. You're not going to get anything. The questions to ask, simple. One, when you have something like that, You need operational structural plan. Operational structural plan means the whole package. What you're going to do, how you're going to do it. And that includes implementation, maintenance, a whole blueprint. You have to. You know when? Not when the machines have arrived, or what they're telling you that it has to be, or it should have been before. Before. Apart from this government, go to any other countries and you have things like this about to happen. They will call and explain the entire plan, the entire blueprint. So before the machines can arrive in the country, the people will have already known what it's going to be like. So when they see this one, they already know. They see that one, they already know. Your government did not. Turning you paste, instead of thinking this way, they truly demonstrated their turning method by showing excitement, getting in yellow, getting in yellow. Yellow, don't worry, I'm talking this one briefly. Then I'll open the line. Getting in yellow, which was purely elementary, too mechanical of a people who claim to be highly educated and exposed to governance, as if yellow machines, the first time it's coming into the country, wearing, you see, yellow machine week. And do you know that since President Bouakai, from his childhood to this time at 81, a first major achievement? That's not me saying it. They said it by the demonstration they gave. How can you be excited, motivated for the arrival of material? Yesterday, when the Congress of Democratic Change officials, certain officials, not all, were highlighting certain gains of the CDC government, Unity Party in opposition said there was nothing to celebrate. You sign up to it. It was your obligation. Hence, there's nothing to celebrate. Why CDC officials should be celebrating? Why they should be talking about this? You sign up. That's why you came to election for. That's why you became president for. That's why you are ruling government. They argue like that in opposition. Nothing I'm saying here that I did not see, heard, participated in. Meaning, went to news conferences, heard people on radio. Nothing I say here is second guessing from anybody because I saw CDC government. Today, they're doing the same thing. So there's nothing there to celebrate. And you CDCians, don't get jittered by that thing. There's nothing there to celebrate. Just tell them, how can you celebrate an obligation? That's what Joe Bouakai signed up for. He said, I do solemnly swear that I will uphold, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. So help me God. He gets the Bible. They say, you president. All of the promises that he made, people did not call Joe Bouakai in and say, we need you to render favor. No president renders a country favor. Every president delivers on his or her promises made to the people. That's why the law provides for campaigning. Tell the people what you will do. And when you are doing it, there is nothing there to celebrate because it is an obligation. You cannot celebrate obligation. So they did not tell you they needed operational structural plan for the Yellow Machines Agency. Inclusive of that, implementation that may has everything going to be executed. That includes the maintenance. You have to develop a blueprint of how those 285 going to be maintained. Training plan. Within that training plan, the number of persons to be recruited, even though the government said 1,000. Here is it. Here is another premature conclusion. You don't arrive at a definitive figure when you have not received the 285, but you did sign for 285, but the 285 are not in the country. 1. 2, you do not know the entire structure of your country in terms of the condition. It is not because you're sitting somewhere and you are a political person and then they attach a political position to you and then you come to make a political statement. You don't make a political statement in a technical area. How did the government or how did the person that announced the 1,000 arrive at 1,000 employees? Because there will be employees. The government said 1,000. How did you arrive at the 1,000? You just have few pieces coming into the country. It is not a whole yet. You have done nothing in terms of sitting down to put plans together. You have no plan in place. Then how did you arrive? They did not take into consideration anything of that. They were more political than technical. So I can say the number that they introduce or they talk about is approximate. Let's take it as an approximate number. Meaning, Kings FM is approximating for them. Approximate means a figure that is not readily definitive. You're not exact, you leave it hanging because there are other factors that will come into place. So Kings FM is approximating for you, meaning we helping you, teaching your English. You say your rescue, you know. You can be definitive with number. You can say 1,000, but the condition will not allow you, will not give you or approve that 1,000. The condition will provide for 2,000, 3,000. Then I'll look at it and say, but you made provision for 1,000, you announced 1,000. You see how things can go straight in this country? You see why you don't take a political person and put him into a technical area? You cannot arrive at a definitive figure when you don't have a full understanding of everything, the structure. You do not have a blueprint yet. Within a blueprint, the maintenance, every other thing. So how did you arrive? So we help you, yeah? Kings FM 88.5 help you. We put the word approximate there. So you say now, you say with us, Kings FM teaching you. You say, your Unity Party people, you say approximately 1,000. You say approximately 1,000. Also, within this question or these questions, you put on a number of 1,000. We say approximate, Kings FM say approximately 1,000. The plan, you won't tell the people. You won't tell the people. Because when you start making announcements, the machine, the other one will go to play. They won't go to play, they won't go play, they won't go to play. You must share every other information. Leave nothing hanging. Since you announce 1,000, you say it will create 1,000 jobs, meaning 1,000 persons will be employed. Where the 1,000 persons coming from? Where are they going to be recruited from? Each county? And are they going to be recruited on political ground? Party interest? Party preference? Or they're going to be recruited from the various counties? You're going to diversify the recruitment, or it's going to be a centralized recruitment, meaning you will take all the people from in Central Monrovia or Monrovia. Also, within that plan, what kind of people in terms of qualification? Because listen, they are not just mere materials. You're talking about heavy duty. Those are heavy duty machines, heavy duty trucks. So when you announce 1,000, you want to take into consideration the kind of 1,000 persons, not just 1,000. Rescue. Your other rescue, the tiny rescue. You're listening good. You bring your pen and paper. Kings FM teaching you. That's how it ought to be. Eh? That's how it ought to be. Simple. Those 1,000 persons, what are you looking for in them? Is it you're just going to recruit because you have the ability to recruit because you brought in 285 machines? You want to take people who are already, it's just like in a radio station. Like, yeah, we have interns. And what happened? When you're recruiting, they must have between 20 to 25 or 30% understanding of what we do here. Then the 20%, we will put it there. Then it becomes 50. So the 50 together with our 50, that 100% are put. What are you looking for? You're just going to recruit people. You have to have people who already know how to move those heavy duty equipment. So you're not just taking anybody. You're not just going to take partisans. If it is intended to give your partisans job, listen, you have a field mission, as George Weah would say. I like that expression used by George Weah on the headquarters. A field attempt, field mission. So you will have to scout semi-qualified, if not full qualified people. People who will already have the concept, not 100%, but they will have the concept. What are you going to do? You need those kinds of people. Do we have them in Liberia? Yes. Do we have many of them? No. We have few. And the few are attached to institutions. So to jumpstart this, what are you going to do? You're going to take them from their respective positions, their respective jobs. So probably if the person is making 150, then rescue government will offer 500. The next question about this yellow machine agency headed by Brani Samokai. country will get 5. Our country will get 17. Our country will get 18. You want to ask yourself, how will these machines benefit the people? Initially, I talked about job creation from the government. They said 1,000. How did they arrive at 1,000? If you have 15 pieces going to a given county, how then is the 1,000 inclusive of the whole 285 pieces of machines in all those counties, that the 15 counties recruitment will be just 1,000 persons? When you have 285 machines, you have trucks, you have other things. How is it possible? That's why I asked the question, how did they arrive at that figure of 1,000? If you have 15 pieces of machines going to a given county, the recruitment will cover more than 1,000. If you have 12 pieces going to Lofa County, the recruitment will go beyond 1,000. If you have 15 going to Grangeda County, it will cover more than 1,000. The number of pieces you send will determine the number. And then, let me go back to the meatiness aspect. Probably it happens. I do not know. I mean, I've now owned cars, so I know all it there. So this is my limitation I'm about to give you. You can help me. You can help me. You can educate me. When you buy a new car, do they give you spare parts for those? So I do not know. I've not gone to buy a car. You people who have an understanding, please, if you bought a new car or the seller gave you, if not, then the government will have to purchase. And each of those machines, a given item, is expensive, very expensive. Listening to the show last night went 4.1 million. I put my hand on my head. God, then I thought, why? Can see these guys, they talk about this organ. Now I knew that the whole thing, the yellow machines. Do you know that most people, oh, if God permits, we ask more questions. Nature, isolated from everything, quote unquote, the purchase of these machines. Why the legislature did not have a say until now, the legislature seemed to be a stepchild with no voice, when it should have, even if it is in the prerogative of the president or the executive, the legislature still has the querying power to know how these machines are going to be used, the maintenance aspect and every other things, because they are responsible for oversight and representation. They were elected by the people. These machines are going into their respective counties, will touch their respective districts. They are muted. It's because they sold their birthright to the executive by excitement. The president is doing well. Look at what Yomli Kanga Lawrence wrote. That was too low, too stooping off a pro tem. You go on her page. Say that's what you get when you elect a responsible president. Well, the president sees you people as puppet. So you have no time to recognize you in anything. And you people have no time to even raise any concern. But that's it. I just thought to raise these questions as we've been pondering about more questions than answer over the days, as they say the rest are coming. Thanks to Teacher Light for exposing that amount, 4.1 million last night. Too substantial. 4.1 million. Anyway, a rescue budget of 2 billion. So let's go now. Let's take a few comments first. Here is the rule. I'm not going to interrupt you. You got 30 minutes. The rest of the time will be for you. So you want to do this for all of us, please. Before you call, either you cut off your radio or you lower the volume to the lowest so it doesn't affect you and affect me. It affects you when you are talking, you're not hearing yourself and you ought to hear yourself. The people who watching me and the radio people too, they know it. This earpiece I have it on is intended to hear myself. I'm listening to myself as I talk. So when I say certain thing, I know that I'm not correct, I inject and take it back. But if I don't have this on, I will not understand myself. I'm having it on also to understand you. When you talk, it going straight in my ear. So any sound will come when you leave the radio on loud, and that feedback, it will run straight in the ear. So I beg you. Secondly, just go straight to the point. So I'll take as many as I can. It is your time to express yourself. I'm only sitting back and listening to you. But let's take a few comments first. Rita Hart writes, no, they don't give you spare parts. It's only cranes and okay, goes with warranty. Okay. And jack set for the vehicle. All right. Rita, thank you. Thank you. So Rita say, when you buy a new car, whatever, they don't give you spare parts for it. So you can buy your own spare parts, eh? Okay. Thank you, Rita. Ambassador Walter Morgan, we appear to be returning to a time before the Magna Carta, when justice was uncertain and rights were not protected. There are consequences to such a path. Emmanuel Broad said, I knew and always said that the Capital Arson case was headed for the rocks. And right now, it's happening in the balance. It is hanging in the balance. The Unity Party government will make the biggest and saddest mistake if it bans ex-President George Weah from participating in the 2029 presidential elections, because the suffering Liberian people will certainly go on the rampage. Broad comments on the first pointer, feeding on what came from Uganda. That Matthew Choloplay, he writes, 2023 elections, Boakat said, if he didn't win the election, it will be the end of Liberia. Now we are saying, unless Boakai, if they try anything foolish with the election result 2029, it will be the end of Boakai and his criminal officials. All right. So Gabriel West writes, no man or woman, both of a woman, can ban President George Manuel Weah from taking part in the 2029 elections. The UP folks can try all they want. They will not and cannot stop President Weah. All right. Let's go to the line 0772 23 99 33 0886 30 44 97. The women's line 0777 9803 75. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, you see the same thing I said, cut off your radio. Same thing I said, what you just done. Yeah.
name is we are calling for Iron Factory, Mr. Andrew. Yeah. I want to tell people that Bwaka and his woman, since they started a relationship as boyfriend and girlfriend.
I mean, that relationship thing, I tell you, go straight to the. Hello. I tell you,
Hello.
people I'm going into them. We are not here all using.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I said, since Bwaka and his woman.
My man, I say go to the issue. Leave that one there. All right. Where do we go? Where's the other one? All right, let's go. Hello.
Yeah, Andrew.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Wilson Salvador calling for Dakota area.
Yeah.
This is two community. Yeah, Andrew, the one that texted me yesterday is for people to bend your wear. Look, a cocoa on my body. Bend your wear on my body. I never seen it before, and I will drop it that will happen. When the 2023 election was going on, what I say, when you now win, you will dance with the devil, or it will be the end of Liberia. So, the band is the safari. So, it will be the end of Liberia and Joseph Bwaka company. I call that even a government. I call that company. So, thank you so much for all you always say to us, and you always on and now with us. Everybody would learn since from year to 2029 after the year on the road already end. I tell you, thank you so much. Let God bless you.
All right, Sabato. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
This is Jackie Tobin from Cornwall. Something really I can't understand. I want you to please help me today. Is the president named Joseph Bako or Joseph Blacko?
My man, I know the man in Bwakai, Joseph Bwakai.
Yeah, usually talking about Joseph Bako or Blacko. Because all things that he's doing, they are in a negative way. So that was really I'm thinking now whether you Bako or Blacko. That's the only question I wanted to pose.
All right, thank you, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lower your radio, chief, or cut it off.
Yes, I'm calling for Iron Factory. Yeah. I wanted to tell people, Bwaka and his woman, from the day they started a relationship as boyfriend and girlfriend.
My man, down Bwaka in relationship on here, man. You haven't talked about relationship, member. Oh God. I say you cut your radio off. When you on Broad Street, you can take speaker and put it side you. You can take radio and put it side you. Be calling. The thing running straight in your ear, running in my ear. They sound too sharp. Still, you lower the radio. People will still hear you. The white man said that thing in a way, when you call that number, you call it will go straight. They're not different person number, except you know it. Once you dial 0777-980-375, it will come straight into Kings FM. It will not go nowhere else. So you don't got to put the radio on loud. The thing that run in the ear is too sharp. Hello.
Hey, Mr. Andrew, a pleasant good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
This is Hussein Keo.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so kindly for accepting my call. Now, listen to the conversation. So, let me say this, Sam. It is only important that we embrace development in our country, criticize and critique.
Oh, Hussein, you going off? Oh? You going off? I'm going to call you off. You going off? Oh? Hello?
Yeah. Hi, Mr. Andrew.
Yeah, fine.
Thank you very much for the program. For me, I'm saying this again. As I always say, 2029, there is no blockage to stand in front of our leader to contest, to stop him from contesting the coming election. Joseph break it, Joseph destroy it. That's why he said bulldozer to come, yellow machine, to spot full homes. But we all lead our star and faster our country before Jesus Christ can come. So all that thing he's doing that for nothing, that feeble. Nobody can start George, our President George Weah, for the coming election 2029. Thank you.
All right. Hello.
Hello, Sam Andrew.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, Sam Andrew, the coming of the yellow machine in this country, other forces and development, they fail to know is a complete economic supporter for this country. Our late resources that will be sending, will be given to government. They will spend it to buy yellow machine fuel. In fact, there are government officials like Plymouth Samoka, and they will get a yellow machine to go on a cocoa farm to open a road. Our sweat, our late taxpayer money will be using to buy fuel. They don't use their own money.
But you think, but when I bro, you think
number one, number two, the people who just are trying to break their horses. Problem is not something from Michelle give a bugger ball up, but it's special to be breaking down your horses. So you just get ready to see just a bugger breaking down your places.
All right.
If you want to say development.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
He made a point. Yeah. Very significant point. Who going to maintain those machines? Who going to pay for the maintenance? That is you, the citizens. You people, you pay your taxes. They're going straight there. The government collect taxes. Yeah, the way everything going. So he's right. You sell your kerosene, you go pay your late tax, you own your market, everything that you're going to pay for all these things. All radio stations paying taxes. Oh, everybody that the money the government will be using. Oh God, that way I say that you ain't want to talk. Hello.
Yes, sir. I think we have a network challenge.
No. See, you have a network. Our system is perfect.
Yeah, definitely. I think for myself. So yes, and I try to weigh in on the issues of the demolitions of the different properties across.
No, I did not talk on anything like that. Please.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So in line with the conversation, Sam, and let me first of all appreciate you for allowing the first quarter to go off. In fact, there is a conversation that you started that we all should weigh in, agree and disagree. For going on a conversation, I think it's a new dynamic that you are setting forth, that whenever people go past what you discuss and being personal, then definitely you have to put it in check. And I try to appreciate that. It is not about who knows you.
Oh, who's you going off again? My man, you know the body, man. All right. Let's go this way. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Good afternoon.
I'm Jonathan Freeman calling you from my comfortable keke on the Puerto Road, Professor, because I'm Andrew speaking. You know, Mr. Andrew, you spoke my mind. For me, I just want to send a caveat to Joe Barker and his king. Let them hear me and hear me well. So we have come 2029, no election. I'm very serious about it. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Have a nice day. Hello.
Yes, I do.
Yep. Yes, let's hear you.
So, yeah. So you take part with yellow now, did I agree again?
So you in yellow today, man, Beze?
I said you take part with yellow today.
Yeah.
I agree again.
They say you man wear yellow. Everyone you wear yellow, so you in yellow?
I can't be in yellow, tell a lie. I can't be in yellow. That is lie person that we tie away. Let me ask. They told the farm, she want to talk again. I had a friend.
Yeah, they say that the first one. They say that the first one. Yeah. They say some will go to your county. I think 5 or 10 will go to your county, Maryland.
Okay, no, Grand Crew.
Oh, Grand Crew. All right, Grand Crew.
Yeah. They are coming here again. So if you went out red yellow, then you not get in your county.
No, that the people call out, they celebrating. They say any machine a yellow man, Beze.
Yeah.
So the United Party people then they get in yellow. All the yellow clothes then on the market finishing, they buying all.
Yeah, but they made it that got a yellow machine up for that for la one never see them if you not see yellow machine before. That is family see at in the party so everyone that will get the uniform.
Yeah. So
we never see music in the party there. That is family music at in the party so we say and now say every time they get yellow. And I want. Thank you.
All right, man. That's it. Have a nice day, mama. Hello. You went off, madam. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Sam. I'm truly sorry. I have an issue with network because what I meant.
Yeah, but then move from where you are. Move from where you are.
I just swapped the location. So yeah, so Sam, I just want to give you an analysis of the yellow machine. And
No, I don't need analysis. Just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, my point. Sam, last evening, even beginning Saturday, Sunday, Monday, only today I didn't want my yellow shirt. And that is because I wore a shirt as a symbol.
Man, I don't want to hear about your yellow shirt. What did you call to say? If you call to talk about wearing a yellow shirt, then you get off the line to give it to somebody.
So yes, I call to say that I'm so overwhelmed. I am very happy that the yellow machine came in country and kept money given contest will be connected. That's what I call.
All right. All right. Hello.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Andrew. I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I call from my purple corner, down Coast Spoon Hill, Wingtown community. Mr. Andrew, thank you for many pointers. For my attention, I've been drawn to two. The draconian ruling today from the criminal code P. In my mind, Joseph Newman Boakai and his government, they are trying to drag us back to where we came from. The law should be respected. And people should not untwist the law to satisfy their master. These are things that can jeopardize the peace of our country and drag us back into our dark days. The laws are clear. The burden of proof lies with the accuser. If indeed the arrest could proceed, declare Marine Hope Foundation to be a criminal enterprise, they should be able to produce the evidence against the foundation instead of asking the foundation to produce evidence against themselves. In my mind, Joseph Newman Boakai, you and your government will not be in power forever. You are setting a dangerous precedent that will harm everyone in this country. And the next one I have to do with the yellow machine. Sometimes when I look at my brothers from the other side, that was talking that he's overwhelmed, they begin to laugh at him. When they were telling us 2023 that road will eat, that hospital will eat, and education will eat, then they come back to celebrate, yellow machine. It tells me their decision was hypocritical. They were now real to the Liberian people. They only did it because they were hateful against the administration that was developing our country. My brother, when yellow machine, yellow shirt. You saw you wear a yellow shirt, but you see what is happening at Phoebe Hospital? With the yellow machine carry drugs to Phoebe Hospital? The place is deserted today. But you are proud to come on this radio to say you wear yellow shirt because you are overwhelmed. You are overwhelmed wearing your yellow shirt. But multitudes of people will be dying at Phoebe Hospital today. So you guys lie to the people. The argument is no longer about job creation that you guys say yes, but now yellow machine. The hints were wise, the square special vision. This clearly tell us that Unity Party have failed. They lack vision and they are visionless. Only lie to come to power, to loot and destroy our country like what they are doing. Thank you, Andrews, for always giving us the opportunity to make our brother on national issues. Thank you very much.
Hello. Hello?
Yeah, hello, Brother Andrew. Good evening. And this is Shmanda Nimne, and I call from Minnesota, the USA. I call to inform the Unity Party government that the path they're trying to take is a wrong path. Let them understand that that country is not for them. It's for every Liberian. George Weah regime was not the one that got that country like that. That country being existing for the 100+ before George Weah became president. Weah became president for that country. What they're doing is wrong. It is time for the imam, it is time for the pastors to come out and start speaking. It is time for those leaders. But if you feel that those leaders are supposed to be speaking, then what we saw those days doing the Taylor Day, doing the Ellen Johnson Sally Day, when things were going wrong, you will see the traditional leader, you will see the church leader coming out to speak to the government or speaking to the Liberian people, telling them we're trying to put the situation under control. But in this regime, because President Weah came from the native people background, and then because the thing that President Weah is not part of, that fall injured cartel, And the thing that they will use that fallen injured mentor to suppress the Liberian people, calling on the religion leaders and calling on the society leader to President Joseph Boakai to stop what he's doing. A problem is coming back. We're sensing the problem. We can see the smoke of the problem in the air. Liberia is not owned by United Party. Liberia is not owned by United Party. From one police director to just wake up and start beating people. One yellow machine wake up and start breaking down people's community. And you think those people that are doing those things, so those people in that town, when those people rise up, it will be bad. Religious community, nobody will listen to you. It is time for you to speak up. It is time for you to speak up. Things are going bad with our country. Every morning we wake up, we listen, we look on the Facebook. A lot of wrong things going on in our country that is not pleasing to some of us. It is wrong. When we have passed through, we don't want to get back to a religious leaders, society leader, or political leader, whosoever. It is time to start speaking. It is time for you to start speaking because the path. I can see smoke in the air, and that smoke looks like trouble. That smoke is a trouble. Thank you, and thank you so much.
All right. A hint to a wise is quite sufficient. Very good warning. Hello.
Oh, Sam Andrew.
Yes, G's partner.
Thank you. That's a G's partner on the line with you.
So you put your doctor degree aside?
My doctor said.
Oh, so that Dr. G's partner.
His partner, in bachelor, doctor.
Oh.
Pro-producer, man, CC.
But that, your title, you get the longest title in the world.
I get it. What did Boakai say?
No, Boakai don't get nothing.
But you don't forget, paper degree. What you say, they talk you out of the air, you say, begin, go, now tired with you.
No, he press secretary say, when I call him man doctor.
Oh, all right, no problem.
You know what the press secretary say, when I call him man doctor?
No.
We are key to power. You know that normal thing they can do from 1847 they've been doing it at the tradition in the country. Yeah. So they too, when we are key to power, when they put that doctor degree on, you can see them. Oh, you're not qualified. The man that day, the man. So the time can now they put doctor here. That is because they shame, they criticize. So they say no, you might not call the man doctor. You know the man little thing there. The man just believe himself. Let you your G's partner. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting me?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. This is Miles Sono, and I call you from Chogi City. Sam Andrew, you see how disappointed you people are now? You people play politics that there were going to be no yellow machine. It has come. Yeah, now you're talking something different. Why it's not reality? You see how disappointed you are? There will be no more CDC. Come 2029. Thank you for following me the time.
All right. Thank you. At least we can tolerate you on our show. Amen. Stop. At least so you see the mental dementia you just exhibited. You see how we better than your radio stations can never accept anybody from the opposition. You see how we are responsive, we are intelligent, we accepted you to express yourself. So you see how refined we are. You see how we are not disgruntled. The disgruntled man that you're. And you see how you called, you took your time, you knew exactly, you know that opposition radio, you called, you express yourself. And you see how tolerant we are. So go now. And you express yourself? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Are you coming on?
I'm good.
Okay, Sir Andrew.
Yeah.
Every Kali, I'm calling you for looking at cinema. You see, Shamo, all I think is saying, the thing that getting to me is about stopping Ambassador, we are not to process. You say, Dr. Andrew, that's fun and making. Andrew, Because come 2029, Mr. George Marawia, no show, no human being that can stop George Weah from protesting. And let me send a card here to the government. My president, we have a president here. They were in the opposition, he laid the groundwork. The most started slow, we saw it. The ambassador, we are in opposition. You want to support the ambassador, we are not to contest. Because you already planning to fail. Then you want to use the court to weaponize the court. And say you want to delay Georgia and stop him. You
All
are
right.
playing fun, it's a joke. Say, Andrew,
Okay, Chief.
we here, that's here. Where we work. Thank you for phoning the time, my brother.
All
And the
right.
only thing I want to speak about.
Hello. Hello, let's go. Let's speak to my Anna. Hello. You are
Yes,
on.
how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Oh, I'm fine. Thank God. And you?
I thank God for life. Thank God for life. I heard somebody telling you, asking you just now, and your station said yellow machine was never going to come and yellow machine here.
That is going to
So
Unity
you see
Party,
now?
man, for straight as shame.
Yeah. So this person now, I want to ask them that their first time seeing yellow machine, since they were born. I don't know how old they are. Their first time seeing yellow machine. They have not seen it any part of this world or hear about it. When my Helen in power yellow machine came, they didn't see it. Before Helen came to power, we had yellow machine. Public West were using yellow machine. Maryland, we have Public West branch there. They didn't see yellow machine. President we came, more yellow machine came. They did their first time see yellow machine. Yellow machine, but yesterday was a disgrace to us. Our official in yellow, people started say, "Oh, we want to wear." People say, "Why you wear your yellow? Your official in librarian in yellow because your first time seeing machine." What is that? That your first time seeing yellow machines or seeing yellow card? I'm sorry, man. Our country, I don't know where it's going. We are acting like children. Yellow machines are breaking machines. Machine can just turn over to Public West. You know something to go organize another ministry for machine, another high-ranking official how do you call it office for yellow machine. For what? What to prove what now? I brought yellow machine. You were our culture minister. You didn't bring something. Nobody celebrated. You were there. You didn't do. Now you get. Is that their private money? They're the country money. The country's money. They're shining. Who knows what happened to the engine? We see the machine shining, but go in the engine, open it. Whether they are good or bad. The body is shining, but go in the engine. Then why they will celebrate? So the person who talked to you just now should come to them and say they're not the first, they're not the very first time saying machines have been coming. Yeah, no time, turbo time, my Helen time, President we have machines have been coming in our country. They're not the very first time saying machine. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Have a nice day there in the States. Okay. So thank you all. You spiced the show up. I appreciate it. Time is of the essence. We've got to go. Radio is time. So that's it. Yeah. So we've got two ministries. Two ministries. Just so you know. Two. We have the Ministry of Public Works and the Ministry of Yellow Machines Works. That's the two ministries we have now. The Ministry of Public Works and the Ministry of Yellow Machines Works, or Ministry of Yellow Machines Affairs. We have the two ministries, two ministers, Minister Roland Giddings and Minister Brandon Samokai. Those are the two ministries we have. Ministry of Public Works and Ministry of Yellow Machines Works. And Public Works for Public Works and the machine for Public Works. So there are two ministries. Ministry of Machines Works and Ministry of Public Works. So what I say, Brandon Samokai, Roland Giddings, work on a Brandon Samokai. Brandon Samokai, Roland Giddings is your deputy. So work under him. Hold on to this. There's going to be confusion within there. Joseph Boakai will call a meeting. Where it will come from, usurpation of function, meaning somebody will be jumping into somebody's area. Marginalization, meaning somebody will step on somebody. Confusion will come from this whole thing. We'll discuss it. We don't wish evil. We don't wish anything. But the government is the biggest newsmaker. They gave us reasons to discuss. Everything we discuss comes from the government. We're not creating it. We don't have the power to create. The government has the power to create. So you watch it. I say it because the way Boakai went in, rushing. Now I'm not taking call again. It's already 5:30, please. The way Boakai rushed with everything to prove a point to the opposition. Why it is true that it is purely administrative, but you need a technical person or somebody with technical knowledge to oversee the administration and supervision. It's not just putting a county crony, county interest. Brandon Samoka from Lofa County. You put Brandon Samoka there. So what we know about Brandon Samoka in this country now? Brandon Samoka not military man again, because we have known Brandon Samoka. I'm not taking calls again, please. We have known Brandon Samoka to be military man. Any man portraying himself as a military man in this country, all around the country knew that man military man. So a man going to public works or Ministry of Yellow Machines works as minister. Yesterday they said George Weah was misplacing people. Oh, the other person misplaced. What the woman, the health minister, Wilhelmina Jara. Oh, the woman is misplaced. It's George Weah man, he know. The man, but why you there? The man don't know anything. Look at misplaced the woman is misplaced. That woman is now a medical doctor. Oh, he sent the other person to public work. Look at the woman, he know anything about public work. But why you get George Weah man, he know nothing. You had a man who say highly educated puppet of a president, people using him. You get two public works ministers. You get two. He marginalized Giddings. The same thing he did to Gafuan. Let me cut the phone off. The same thing he did to Gafuan. He brushed Gafuan aside and gave the responsibility to the vice president. The vice president could not deliver economically. You ever heard the president acknowledging the work, the difference, when he gave that responsibility? When he gave that responsibility on July 26th to the vice president, he said he should settle the economic situation in the country. He did not trust Gafuan. The same thing. He didn't trust Roland Giddings. So he brought military men to work in technical area. The Brandon Samoka military man again. He reduced. Amen. Anyway, y'all will see it. I see you. That's all the time we've got to be on the show. Thank you ever so much. Join us tomorrow, if God permits. The news is on at 6, King's Newsroom. You want to join us for that at 6 p.m. in just under 25 minutes. And then at 8 o'clock, the doctor is in. You already know, the teacher of the land, light of the nation, the evangelist, and Anthony at law, A.B. Weir, with Face the Issues. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. This is how we go home.
Jah, Rastafari, it's a redemption day.
Wagwan must struggle me.
Wagwan revolution, people. Wagwan the blue revolution. You ready? CDC, you ready? Let's go. Get. building a new home. Let's build. Oh, let's build. The men they fought the more, the map they get it one way. Let's build. Oh, let's build. We did it before and we can do it again. Let's build. Oh, let's build. The men they fought the more, the map they get it one way. Let's build. Oh, let's build. We did it before and we can do it again. Now watch this. We coming again. We coming again. We coming again. We will do it again. We coming again. We coming again. We coming again. CDC coming again.
Drawing blueprints, breaking ground. A foundation strong where love will stand tall. Every break can be a piece of our hearts. A place we call our own. No matter where the road we go, the walls are rising. The rules are taking shape, building a new home. With love from the start, through laughter when tears, through the struggle we face, we're building strong, fill this room with joy and grace. Let's build.
The men they fought the more, the map they get it one way.
Let's build.
Oh,
let's build.
We did it before and we can do it again. We are the masses. This is our party. It's not a building.
From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5, just for you.